off-field incidents, but remains in charge of England's white ball sides. 35-year-old Root, whose first spell as Test captain was between 2017 and 2022, captained England to a record 27 Test wins in 65 matches. He has been reappointed captain following the shock retirement of Ben Stokes from international cricket in June. Fleming said he was incredibly excited to be taking on the role as Test coach, adding, "It's one of the most prestigious coaching positions in world cricket, and I am honoured to be appointed." Golf now, and world number 2 Gino Thitikel leads the first round of the AIG Women's Open by 2 shots after a spectacular 7 under 64 at Royal Lytham and St Anne's. The 23-year-old has 11 top 10 finishes in majors but has never won one, and went bogey-free in a fine start to her latest attempt. South Korea's Hae-Ren Ryu, aiming to become only the 5th woman in history to claim 3 majors in a calendar year, is second alongside Japan's Shiho Kawaki on 5 under. England's Lottie Woad and Charlie Hull are both on 2 under, while compatriot Alice Hewson led the tournament in the morning and finished 1 under par. Tennis now, and Cameron Norrie booked his place in the Los Cabos Open quarter-finals with a straight sets victory over James Duckworth in Mexico. The British number 2 defeated Australia's Duckworth 6-4, 6-4 to set up a meeting with former top 20 player Bernard Tomic in the last 8. Rugby League, and St Helens prop George Delaney will miss the rest of the season after undergoing shoulder surgery. The 22-year-old suffered the injury in last week's derby defeat at Wigan Warriors. Delaney scored 2 tries in 20 appearances for Saints this season. The loss at their rivals was the 7th reverse in the past 11 games in all competitions for the injury-hit side. And finally, it's rugby union, and Scottish Rugby has sacked its chief executive Alex Williamson after a months-long examination of his conduct in the role. Appointed as successor to Mark Dodson in September 2024, Williamson started work at Murrayfield in early 2025. A low-key figure, it was announced in late May this year that he had been put on a period of extended leave. No explanation was offered as to the reason why. Now, John McGuigan, the chairman of Scottish Rugby Limited, has announced the Board of Scottish Rugby has today dismissed Alex Williamson from his position as chief executive with immediate effect. His dismissal follows the conclusion of an independent investigation into matters that were brought to the board's attention earlier this year. In light of the investigation findings, the Board of Scottish Rugby concluded that the CEO's conduct had fallen significantly below the standards we set as an organisation. Current Chief Financial Officer David White is set to become interim Chief Executive, while the governing body begins the process of replacing Williamson. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. Let's start with football. And European football's 55 member associations have voted to boycott World Cups if the sport's governing body proceeds with a plan to sell stakes in its competitions to private investors. The decision was made at an emergency meeting called to discuss the proposal announced earlier this week by FIFA, which oversees world football. CONCACAF, which governs football in North and Central America and hosted this year's World Cup, said its 41 member associations have rejected the proposal made by FIFA President Gianni Infantino after it met on Thursday. Reports are suggesting the CONCACAF nations are also losing faith in Infantino. UEFA, which governs European football, had already made its opposition clear by releasing 2 damning statements, and that strength of feeling has been reaffirmed. Eddie Howe has left his position as Newcastle United head coach. The decision has been taken following discussions with the club's hierarchy of the last 48 hours, although Howe had started the ball rolling on a potential departure a number of weeks ago. In this time, Howe continued to focus on preparing the Newcastle team for their season opener against Liverpool on August the 23rd. Howe's departure comes 25 days before that fixture. England defender John Stones has joined Italian champions Inter Milan on a free transfer and signed a 2-year contract. The 32-year-old left Manchester City when his deal expired at the end of June after 10 successful years at the Premier League club. Stones said he had lived all my dreams out after helping City win 6 Premier League titles, the Champions League, 2 FA Cups, 5 League Cups, 3 Community Shields, the Club World Cup and the UEFA Super Cup. Since he became a free agent, the centre-back has attracted interest from clubs across Europe, including Chelsea and Juventus. Inter Milan were crowned Serie A champions for the 21st time last season and will start their title defence against newly promoted Monza on Saturday, August the 22nd. Chelsea have signed France's World Cup defender Maxence Lacroix from Crystal Palace for £52 million. The 26-year-old, capped 7 times by France, has penned a contract at Stamford Bridge until 2032. The Frenchman joined Palace from Bundesliga side Wolfsburg in 2024 for an initial £15.5 million and became a regular under Oliver Glasner last season. And players found guilty of discrimination will face a ban of at least 10 matches under strengthened Football Association rules coming in for the new season. In previous seasons, suspensions range from 6 to 12 matches for aggravated breaches of FA Rule E3.2, which relates to misconduct around references to ethnic origin, colour, race, nationality, religion, sex, gender reassignment, sexual orientation or disability. The strengthened sanction, which also applies to managers and individuals in the technical area, is part of the FA's commitment to delivering a game free from discrimination. Cricket now, and former New Zealand captain Stephen Fleming has been appointed as England Test coach, with Joe Root returning as captain. Fleming has never previously worked as head coach of a national team, but he led Chennai Super Kings to a record 5 Indian Premier League titles during his 17-year tenure as head coach. Previous Test coach Brendan McCullum was fired earlier this month following a string of poor results and several off-field incidents, but remains in charge of England's white ball sides. 35-year-old Root, whose first spell as Test captain was between 2017 and 2022, captained England to a record 27 Test wins in 65 matches. He has been reappointed captain following the shock retirement of Ben Stokes from international cricket in June. Fleming said he was incredibly excited to be taking on the role as Test coach, adding, "It's one of the most prestigious coaching positions in world cricket and I am honoured to be appointed." Golf now, and world number 2 Gino Thitikel leads the first round of the AIG Women's Open by 2 shots after a spectacular 7 under 64 at Royal Lytham.
Off is at 8 p.m. sharp. Do join us then for all the coverage of your independent off-tube studio commentary. The first game of the Scottish Premiership season as Dundee United take on Rangers. Dundee United take on Rangers this Friday evening in the first game of the 26-27 Scottish Premiership as we get underway at Tannadice Park this evening. Of course, the big news is the new signings, of course, and the new signing is the manager, of course, at Ibrox. Derek McKinney's now taking charge of the gears, of course, after taking Hearts oh so close. Well, it is a warm welcome to this evening's unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Tannadice Park as we get underway for the Scottish Premiership season 2026-2027 as Dundee United take on Rangers this evening. Of course, the big story, the big talking point, I'm sure it's been for a couple of months now in Scottish football. Derek McInnes is now the boss of the Ibrox side, going from Tynecastle to Ibrox. It'll be a big story to see how he will implement this season. Of course, Lawrence Shanklin as well leads the line this evening. If he did miss the lineups in the preamble, I will take you through them in just a few moments. But back and forth they've already gone of these two sides, and early on, about halfway into their own half, the hosts have already won a free kick after a long ball forward and a foul by Shanklin. It will be taken by Bert Esselink. He will go for the long one in the first half. Dundee United are going from left to right in the usual orange and black, Rangers right to left in their usual home strip, blue, white shorts and black socks. Of course, a couple of debutants in both sides this evening for Jim Goodwood and Derek McInnes. A couple of debutants, as I said, Rawlins, Walton, Rose and Forbes for the hosts, whereas Rangers as well with Devlin, Pandur and Shanklin. Long ball forward from that free kick. Goes out of play for the first few touches for Pandor, the former Tigers goalkeeper for Hull City. He will take it and we'll go along quickly then. The lineups, if you did miss them in the preamble: Walton in goal for the host, back four of Rawlins, Forbes, Esselink and Ferry. Tate, the skipper, Ajayi and Sevelge as a midfield three, with Randall, Rose and Sapsford as a forward 4-3-3, where it looks to be a 4-2-3-1 for the visitors. Pandeur in goal, back four of Sterling, Godfrey, Fernandes and Romens, with a midfield two of Devlin and Diamande, with Gassama, Asgard, Naderi and skipper Shankland almost as a front four. Here they do come with Gassama, back to Diamande, who will switch it back out to the left hand side, and full back in Romens will pick it up. He's forced to go back though, good press on from the hosts. A lot of these players looking to impress on the former Hearts boss. Right hand side, Gassama is there for the moment, back to Godfrey, poor pass, and it only ends up into the stands at Tannadice and out for a throw-in for Dundee United. A warm welcome if you are just joining. 2.5 minutes in to this Friday evening clash. Dundee United against Rangers, unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary for the action, and Dundee United come forward quickly down the right hand side. Opportunity now for Randall, back inside looking for Savell, but that's a good tackle, and Asgard's got space in the middle to drive forward. He's got further forward to his right side, Naderi decides not to use him, but he still goes on his own. He skips past a few. Now Naderi back into the middle, look for Shankland, the back heel strike is on target and saved, and then there's a strike. Is that deflected and out for a corner? Swift attack there for Rangers, and I do believe they've won themselves a corner as well. It's myself, Lewis Raftery, joined by Robert Eddy, and that would have been a great start for the visitors and for Derek McInnes.
Yeah, it certainly would have done. I mean, it's not the easiest strike. He's improvised it quite well there, hasn't he, Lawrence Shankland? I thought Walter made a bit of a meal of it because it wasn't travelling particularly quickly. It was slow getting down, but the important thing is kept it out. I'm just wondering whether it was actually on target. But good defending to not allow the follow-up pullback. It was right on the goal line to get into the middle, because obviously the keeper would have been still on the ground. So it was decent defending, but positive from Rangers. First set piece.
Be an outswinger from Asgard, floats it into the back sticks. Gassama's there, goes for a strike, falls for Devlin outside the area, and that one is wide of the mark, out for a goal kick. Just gets over it and drags it a little bit wide, almost as if floated it into the back post for Gassama. Fell kindly for him at least to put a cross into the box. That was deflected and cleared away to the edge of the area, and Devlin put a strike into the box. Just watching back that Shankland effort, as you rightfully said, Rob, it's good improvisation from the man who will wear the Rangers armband this season. Of course, he'll add a lot to that Rangers attack. Goal kick, ball forward, one in the air by Fernandes. Out to the left hand side, and a ball forward. At the moment, it's quite direct from both sides. Of course, Rangers will be the favourites coming into this game, it has to be said, but on the opening night, if you will, Friday evening, opening game of the season, imagine Tannadice is absolutely bouncing. It looks like it's a packed house as well, it has to be said, so the atmosphere will be booming, it has to be said. Long ball forward, Shankland nods it on for Gassama down the left hand side. That's at least where he's taken a bit of space, tries to take it past his man, well defended by Rawlins, and I think he's also won a goal kick for his side, so well defended there. So it looks like actually I thought Gassama might line up on the right hand side. Looks like he's on the left. He is an out and out winger. Naderi, I'm not saying he can't play as a winger, but he looks to be on the right hand side. Maybe he'll be given a. We were speaking before on there. Sterling isn't really a right back, so maybe Naderi is going to be on the right hand side, but almost as a second striker to Shankland. That means Sterling might get up and down that right hand flank. Yeah,
I don't know whether it was a plan, but Naderi for the last attack that's led to the corner. Actually, I thought he was quite static. He didn't do Asgard any favours at all. Asgard beat a couple of players actually, so Asgard did really well in the end, but I don't know whether Naderi was just staying in a kind of central position to allow Sterling to get forward, but he wasn't moving. Sterling didn't make the overlap, and they still got a corner out of that particular attack, so they did well. Maybe it just takes time for ideas to bed in, but now it's a long throw for Dundee United.
Ferry on the left hand side, it's into a decent area, bobbling around. Dundee get a shot off, but it's blocked away and only back to Ferry. Not a good ball into the box from the full-back, and now there's a possibility for a swift counter-attack for Rangers. Ball swiftly from right to left into the feet of Gassama, gets it caught up a little bit in his feet on the counter-attack, and he's brought down, so Rangers will win the free kick after that foul, but does put a stop to any counter-attack that the visitors did have there, and Dundee can get their shape back. And I mean, I know Shankland gets in, I've already spoke about him, the former Hearts man coming in as a striker, the focal point, if you will, the skipper. Of course, he's brought Devlin in as well, former Hearts player, into the middle. It's a bit of a different Rangers sides from what we've seen. Of course, like Butland's moved on, and we've already spoke about off the air that Tavernier has gone as well. So it's a bit of a different Rangers, and a couple of players is a bit of a proving point this evening in the first couple of games of the season.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they're missing some players as well from World Cup duty, etc. Some players might leave, some players might come in. I mean, it's a bedded inside time, really. I mean, what Rangers will obviously want to do is just get a win. There was lots of goals in this particular fixture last season. The first two games ended 2-2, and in fact the second one, Dundee United scored 2 goals. Rangers ultimately won 4-2. Sorry, the third one, not the second. So on the face of it, this game's got goals in it. But first game of the season, new managers, new systems, new players missing. I don't know. I think Rangers will just want to get the victory and take it from there. They haven't exactly started the game as though they're going to absolutely boss it. There's a quick free kick from Dundee, almost got Randall in behind, but Pandor was alive to it right on the edge of his own box. But 8 minutes gone. Rangers haven't stamped an authority as though they're going to run this game from start to finish, so they've still got to establish themselves in this game, and obviously they haven't done that yet. So Dundee United very much up for the fight at the moment.
I think he's spot on with that long ball forward for Shankland. He's battling with Ferry looking for the free kick. He's not happy as the Rangers skipper letting the official this evening, Nick Walsh, and the linesman have a bit of a word. There was a slight push in the back. It's nothing of too much, but the defender goes down. We see them giving a lot in the game, of course, these days. 8.5 minutes in, it's still goalless so far at Tannadice. Dundee United 0, Rangers 0. First pictures of Jim Goodwin being the boss for quite a while now at Dundee United. Just over 3 years, March 2023. He took charge, 152nd game for him in charge of the host this evening. On ball forward, nodded out of play, and there might be another opportunity for another long throw on the left hand side for Ferry. The last one did cause a little bit of a menace for Rangers. No chance came from it. There was a shot that was blocked in the penalty area, but a mayhem could be caused. Another ball comes and it's well won by Godfrey. Only nods it back to Ferry. Instead of swinging another ball into the box, he'll let it trickle out of play, and he'll let another long throwing opportunity come the way of the host. And they've got everyone up. They've got the 2 centre backs up as well as the 3 forwards. So if they can win that first header, or at least win the second ball comes into the goalkeeper. He punches it away. Only as far as Ferry, his shot comes in, but he's blocked away. That's a poor pass at the back, but Dundee will keep it and put our force all the way back to their goalkeeper, and they will reset. But as Rob rightfully said, there's no real stamp of authority by Rangers, and I know that they're the favourites, as I said earlier, but do you think as well possibly they understand that it's the first home game of the season for Dundee United? It's the first game. They're thinking this could be a bit of a scalp for them. Maybe if we just calm the storm for maybe the first 10-15 minutes, then we can play our game, or maybe just take what we can get.
I think this is not going to necessarily work out like that. There's possibly too many players missing. They are on the attack, Rangers, ball in from the right hand side, headed away, but they're missing some key players, and of course they weren't brilliant last season. They started the campaign with so many draws. I know they didn't lose many, but all those draws was costly, and of course right at the death, what was it, 4 games to go? They were arguably favourites at the time, and they ended up third, 10 points adrift, because they had a real tail off to the end of the campaign. They've won another corner, which Asgard's gone across the tape. I mean, we've played 10.5 minutes now, but apart from that first corner and now a second, that first corner's quite early on. It's been Dundee United with their long throws, which has caused the most problems. Corner comes in, glanced away, only to the edge of the box. Rangers still on the attack.
Kusama has it in the area, tries to get past one, pokes it off a defender and out for another corner. So back-to-back corners, and maybe a bit of momentum being built for Rangers. The first time though, the corner will be from the near side, at least from where we're seeing pictures of. As I said, Rangers going from right to left. It's been Asgan on set-piece duties. The first 2 have been from the far side, so they've been outswingers. This may be an opportunity to swing one in. Fernandez, he's always a target in the box. Godfrey will have some at Diamandis. Of course, an aerial threat. He takes it short, Asgard. The pass back to him isn't great, but it falls kindly for him. Pokes cross into the box, blocked away. Diamande will do well to get there, and is he brought down? Yes, he is, says the referee. Maybe just gets a leg to the ball first. Ferry brings him down. Are they going to take the free kick short? No, they're not. So they got away with one there with a short free kick, because at short corner, I should say, Asgard got it back. Now a chance for another set piece.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, it was a poor layoff, I suppose, back to the corner taker. But, I mean, it wasn't really changing the angle. I didn't see the point. They got away with it. Asgard rode a challenge. Could have done better. They didn't. I didn't think it was a free kick. It looked as though Diamande overrun the ball and then just stuck a leg out. You might argue he's obstructing Ferry in a way, but he's got the free kick. Here it is.
It's a good delivery into the back sticks, maybe just a little bit over here, I do say, with that looking for the back sticks, just over the head of the Rangers defender there. Asgard, much better at least trying to put in the area. As I say, at first I thought it was a really good delivery, then it never really came down, and he tried to fizz it into an area, just a little bit overhit in the end. But I do like that a bit better. Dundee trying to play out from the back, being pressed down by Naderi. In the end, the defender will just punt it long, and it will go basically from box to box onto the feet of Ivor Pandot. Just over 12.5 minutes played at Tannadice Park, still goalless. Dundee United 0, Rangers 0. Pandot will wait for the striker Rose to close him down, and then picks it up, and then rolls it back out, and will decide to go long, looking for Shankman. He's always going to be a target up there. Tries to knock it down to Gassama, doesn't work, and Ferry wins it, knocks it forward for Rose, gets it out to the left hand side, and can they find a ball into the box? Well, it is on the left hand side from Sapsford, but it's not a great ball into the box, and it's out for a goal kick. But I think you're right in terms of when Rangers maybe get a bit of space to look all right at the moment. Of course, he's 13 minutes into the game. As you rightfully already said as well, a lot of players missing. It's only the 31st of July, of course, isn't it? It feels like pre-season almost still. But Dundee, I think when they are giving Rangers a bit to think about early on.
Yeah, and I didn't like that last little passage of play. Panda's got the ball at his feet. Ball over the top for Rangers. Oh, there's a bit of hesitation. Naderi's got onto the end of it, pulls it back, shot comes in, took two deflections, slightly miscued as well. They still haven't cleared their lines. As player goes down in the box going for a penalty, he's not going to get it. Shot from a very tight angle is tame, and it's well dealt with in the end. Player is still down. I think it's Gassama, perhaps claiming that there's an arm in the face. He's clutching his ear now. I mean, it's an aerial challenge. For me, it wasn't a penalty, but these things happen. Good pace shown by Naderi there, actually. I thought was a bit hesitant from Rawlins and Forbes. But while there's a bit of treatment, yeah, I mean, he's made an absolute meal of it. It's not a penalty. It's laughable, really. But I didn't like Panda. Panda had the ball at his feet, and he waited, 20-30 seconds to be closed down before he picked it up. Fine if it's the last minute and you're leading 1-0. It's 0-0 in the 13th minute. I personally think that's sending out the wrong signals. Basically, Rangers are the favourites. They should be saying, right, we've got the ball, we haven't had it for 5 minutes, now we're going to attack, not lure you down here just to get you offside in the future. For me, that's sending wrong message out. And it's quite pathetic going down for the trying to win the penalty. Here go Dundee United again. They get it forward very quickly, particularly down the flanks. They're happy to take the throw-ins because they use the long throw. They're not wasting time with possession in the middle of the park. They've got a runner, put some pressure on, get a clearance, we'll take the long throw if that's what Rangers are going to give us. And Ferry's coming across from left back to the right hand side, so yeah, it's a tactic they're going to use, the long throw. It's not the best long throw, but that makes it harder to actually clear the lines. There's no pace on it.
No, it is a decent option as well, isn't it, for Dundee? Just coming from that right-hand side. They've not cleared the lines yet of Rangers. Now they might get away. Gassama as he brought down. Devlin then goes in to win the ball. The referee's going to let an advantage be played. Is he going to bring it back? I think he's going to give the foul against Tate in the end. No, he might bring it back. Actually, apologies. Gassama was brought down, I don't think cynically at all, but it might have been classed as that cynical kind of class. But nearly Rangers, they're getting away on the counter-attack. Devlin, I thought, went in with a really good tackle there to try and win the ball. But then the problem the Rangers players, they'd all already gone forward, hadn't they? So there was no one there to win the ball. And it just came to nothing, but Rangers will get the free kick. Yeah,
I mean, it's a bit physical from Devlin, particularly as the advantage was with Rangers. But having said that, Dundee United were a little bit upset because they felt Devlin's tackle was worse than theirs. But Devlin wouldn't have had to make his tackle if Age hadn't fouled Gassama, so clearly there's no advantage. I don't know what the complaint was. The referee actually just had a word with Age because there was a counter opportunity there. It's only 10 yards outside the Rangers box, but there weren't that many terrors back. You're not going to give a red card. I'm not suggesting that for a moment, but he just had a quiet word with Age and said, look, that presumably something along the lines of that could be a yellow card next time. Here goes Dundee United, great last ditch challenge. Oh, they're still on the attack, it's kept it on, then there's a slip right hand side. I don't know if there's a problem defenders turning, because that was real slow stuff. Dundee United still on the attack.
Down the right hand side, and I think you're right there, the referee's going to bring it back for a free kick actually for Dundee United. But you're right, that's the second time now a defender, once for Rangers, once for Dundee United, the defender's got done on the turn. Nice ball into the feet of Rose, and Fernandez, as Rob Bradford says, a great last ditch tackle, then it nearly falls kindly on the right hand side for Randall, and just as he does keep it in play, he loses his footing on the outside of the turf, of the penalty area I should say. But now this is a dangerous free kick for Dundee United. It's about 40-45 yards out, but on the right hand side of the left hand side of the Rangers half, if you will, going from right to left. It's an opportunity. They've got some big players, Forbes, Esselink, Guy as well. It's all about the delivery. It looks like it will be an outswinging type of delivery, although Ferry is there as well with the left footed option. Referee just waiting for the moment. Will be swung in. It's a delivery into the back sticks. Has to be nodded behind by the Dairy. So they will win a corner. A better opportunity for a set piece. But that was nearly a good opportunity for Dundee United, and now another set piece.
Yeah, not a bad delivery. He's well tracked by Naderi, and he's quite tall, so he just had to watch the ball. But sometimes you see forward players kind of fall asleep in those situations. I didn't like the wall. Yes, you've got one runner who's tracking Ferry, who's the dummy, the decoy, but then the wall moved. I did see he was quite in the wall, but he took a few steps to the left and jumped. I mean, what's the point of having a wall if he's going to be out of the way? Two players are down next to the keeper. The corner hasn't been taken yet. I do quite like the positivity that Dundee United's showing. You'd suggest it's a little bit basic. They're going for set pieces and trying to cause problems that way. They haven't really had a chance yet. And you might argue Rangers have had a couple, but there's no way Rangers are settled in this game at all. It's fiery tackles are going in, still goalless.
When the side there attacking as well as the corner is swung in, well, there's too much swing on it as it goes straight out of play for a goal kick. What I was going to say is at the end that Dundee are attacking in the first half, he's in front of their fans. The end that Rangers are attacking in the first half in front of their fans. So I can imagine the scenes if either side scores in the first half. But that was a poor delivery, too much on it. Well, we see so many corners that are under hit almost, don't we? That was well much over hit, too much curl on that one. And does that take a little bit of a sting out of the attack? A bit of Rangers can just breathe now, whereas Dundee were just getting a little bit on top of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Rangers have been particularly solid to start with, but I don't think Dundee United have created anything either. There was that one sort of break through the middle. It was almost lucky the way that the ball ended up going through into the path of Rose, but Fernandez actually got a decent challenge in to prevent a shot. Other than that, they're kind of just trying to cause problems with set pieces. The long throw has been difficult to clear. It's not because it's a great long throw. It's kind of high, floaty, coming down at snail's pace, and you just can't generate the power to get it. And so there's a half chance on a shot, depends on where it falls. Rangers have looked a little bit more creative, but I don't think they've dominated the opening 20 minutes, even though they're the side that have had the shots. It's not quite felt that game to me as yet. I think the Terrors are very much in this at the moment. First goal might make a huge difference, but we haven't had it yet.
No, we're still waiting for it. You'd have to say the best chance as well has come for Rangers, but as Rob said at the time, there was a little improvisation you felt as well from Shankler. It was a decent ball into him, and that back heel strike was more of him just trying to get a shot on target. Rangers are having a little bit of the ball, but on the left hand side with Naderi into the feet of Asgard, who does have a bit of space. Pokes it to the edge of the area. It's not a good pass into Gassama, just booted away by Forbes. 21 minutes in, still goalless at Tannadice. as Rob rightfully said, I know it's very cliche, as we all say as commentators, but the first goal will be massive if Rangers get it. That might give them some confidence. That might just up the atmosphere at Tannadice Park. I'm not too sure. Left-hand side, ball swung into the back post. It's a good delivery, decent clearance. Then that from the left-hand side from Sapsford isn't the greatest of secondary clearances, if you will, and it's one well in the middle by Diamande. Godfrey goes long. Naderi chests it down to Sterling, who pokes it to that right-hand channel looking for Shankland. And that's very well defended by Esseling. Just clears it, but just knocks it off of Shankland as he does that first fake. Shankland stretches the right leg out, and then just knocks it off the Rangers skipper and out for a throw-in on the left-hand side. Of course, Rangers do have some Europa League qualifiers to just think of in the back of their mind as well over the coming weeks. Poland will be the trip for them on Thursday evening, and then of course they've got the second leg at Ibrox the week after. But of course, for the moment, their interest will be all on Dundee United. They've got it just inside their own half, on the right with Rawlins, in the right back position. And for the first time, they're just maybe trying to knock it around. Rangers are trying to press though. Shankland putting the pressure on Forbes. He clears it long, and it's a nice touch into the left-hand side. Sapsford, he's got a bit of space to drive forward into the penalty area. Strike comes in, stretching, and it goes wide of the mark. He's got 2 goals and an assist in 3 appearances against Rangers, so he's got a good record. And that was just, again, a long ball forward, just a bit of a flick there on the left-hand side by Savell. And then Sapsford, you can see what he's trying to do, but if anything, I think it's good defending maybe by Sterling to get back, not originally, but he gets back into a good defensive shape as ball forward and Naderi tries to knock it on. And what I will say about this game is there's a lot of space for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're backing Rangers in this or you're supporting Rangers, you think Shankland's trying to close down Forbes in the Dundee box. 5 seconds later, Sapsford's having a shot at goal. It's too easy. One ball flicked on. Sapsford's running through into the box. Yes, Sterling eventually forced him a little bit wide, but that was a pass out from their own box. 5 seconds might be slightly exaggerating the speed of it, but it didn't take long. And that's not the first time. Okay, the blocked and conceded throw-ins or corners or whatever, but they're getting into attacking set-piece situations very easily, Dundee United. Yes, Panda's had nothing to do, but for me, I think that's too easy. There's no control of this game at all. Shankland's isolated most of the time, and that's if he's had a kick, other than that early strike at goal. Here come Dundee United again.
Down the right-hand side, Randall fakes it back onto his left, pings one out to the left-hand side for Sapsford. He's got an overlapping run from Ferry. Will use his full-back. He floats one into the back sticks. It's misjudged, but Rangers will come over and Gassama just gets his body in the way there of Randall and just lets it trickle out of play for a goal kick. Once again, unfortunately, I think what we are missing in this game maybe is that little bit of quality in the final third from either side. But just over 24 minutes into this game, still goalless. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action this evening at Tannadice Park. Dundee United 0, Rangers 0. And to take us through to half-time, I'll pass you over to Rob.
Yeah, cheers, Lewis. 0-0, as Lewis said. Not too many clear-cut chances, but we have had 7 shots. Rangers have only hit the target twice. Dundee United yet to do so, but the suggestion on the website I'm using is that Rangers have had more possession. I'm not getting that feeling from the game. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just not getting that feeling. Dundee United, because they're quite direct, perhaps they are having second best in the possession stats, but they're looking a little bit more positive in many ways to me, but they haven't tested Pandey yet, as that was a ball lost on the attack for Dundee United, and Rawlins a bit too physical trying to win it back, has conceded a a free kick, only 25 yards from the goal line, as Rangers have a free kick in possession, not too far outside their own box, left channel. And the attacking areas has flashed up on screen for Dundee United, that is, and it's 46% down their left-hand side. Of course, Ferry is not afraid to get forward in support of Sapsford, and maybe Sterling. I'm never convinced he's an actual right back, and we talked about this, didn't we? Of course, Tavernier has nailed down the right back position forever for Rangers, and of course he's not there anymore. Sterling has played at right back, I'll grant you, but most of the attacks have come down the left for Dundee United, and they're getting quite high up the field.
Yeah, and you feel that's why Sapsford's getting his chances. I think you're right with that, and that's what we spoke about. Is almost they're actually basically playing with Sterling as the right winger whenever they're in possession, and like you said, it doesn't feel like that they've had more possession. It has have Rangers, but Ferry, that's a nice touch past his man, and he's still coming forward.
He's running out of support in the end. He was almost running out of room, but it's actually clever defending from Godfrey. I was going to say clever defending, but he took an extra touch trying to get that little bit more space for the freedom of the clearance, but he's taking it over the goal line, so it will be a corner kick out of pretty much nothing for Ferry, all on his own. Not trying to just prove my own point, but Sterling caught short there, and the backup was slow to get across, and they've got a corner out of it because Ferry is putting the pressure on. He's a left back in an advanced position. We're not seeing the other way. Delivery swung in, better delivery. It's just glanced off the top of Fernandez, I think it was. Did it take a touch at all? Maybe it hasn't. That was a better delivery. The first corner for Dundee United was over here. I could have sworn that took a touch off Fernandez, but goal kick given.
Yeah, it looked like it definitely took a touch, didn't it? But as you say, maybe they've got a weird one there for Rangers. Ball forward, I thought maybe the Dairy made the run to the left-hand side. If he just held that run for a second, it might have been behind there. Gee, that's a lovely first few touches. But I feel for Sterling, I feel if he's damned if you do, he's damned if you not. If when he goes forward, there's no that right-hand side. There is no one on the right-hand side by Sterling. But then if he goes forward, there's no one behind him backtracking. So it is a little bit awkward for him. It's almost said, right, you've got to cover that entire right-hand flank. I think he needs some help, whether it is Naderi on the right-hand side, maybe Asgard goes over there. I'm not too sure. But as you said, the Ferry and Sapsford have been a duo that are working really well together, but making it really awkward and a long evening so far for Sterling. But that's why the left hand side's working, and clearly that's why they're attacking it, because Sterling's the only man defending and attacking that right hand side.
All over the top. Fernandez is just trying to block off the run of Rose, and he does just about. It's slow to start off there, but he's got enough pace to at least get in the way. That's allowed the ball to bounce through to Panda, but then there's an inquest going on. Fernandez and Romans about perhaps the cross coming into the box a little bit too early. I'm not sure how it's Romans' fault, but obviously it's early season teething issues. Rangers back on the attack on the right hand side with the aforementioned Sterling. That's a good looking ball in, headed down. Oh, it's bouncing towards the far post, and it was a late intervention from Walton. It just didn't have enough power. It might have hit the upright. I can't say it was definitely going in. It was a corner, a throw in which they've already taken quickly. This time Sterling's cross is a little bit deep, but Romans has kept it alive. One full back to another, cross in towards the far post. It's over Shanklin. Sterling with a shot into the side netting. Don't know if he was going for goal there. Might have just not wrapped his boot around it, but that was better from Sterling. And opportunities, it was Naderi with the header, just didn't quite have the power.
That's the only problem. You're right, he's got the precision of it and the accuracy, and if anything, because of how he's headed it, once it hits the surface, it's curling, and I think that might, as you said, definitely I think it would have curled off the post, whether it's off the post and in or just off the post and wide, I'm not too sure, but it definitely had Walton just trying to get there and reaching for it, didn't he, with every single inch and reach that he's got of himself there. But much better from Rangers. They've got to take a bit of that, because apart from, as you said, the Shanklin strike and the couple of corners had early on, about to hit half an hour in, that's their best few chances. They've got to try and build on that momentum.
Dundee United attacking down the left-hand side. Lovely triangle, and Ferry it is. Low ball in to the feet of Rose, who has to turn back to goal. Tried to thread it through to Randall. It's blocked by the legs of Romans and then cleared. But again, it was good play from the Terrors. Again, working down that left-hand side. That's not just to highlight Sterling. As Lewis mentioned, he's not really got much defensive support. So that is obviously opportunities that Dundee United are trying to exploit. And of course, they've now got another long throw. Ferry walked past the ball that was on the field and now looks a little bit annoyed that he has to go back onto the field to get that ball off the field that he walked past before. But it is another long throw. and I guess it hasn't yielded a chance yet, but these sort of high-hanging balls in are tough to clear. It's another looping ball in. He gets good enough depth. It's only partially cleared. Shot! Took a deflection, goes wide. And it will be a corner. Agay it was with the strike. It was blocked at source. That's the problem with these long throws. There are so many players in and around the ball. But again, it's another half opportunity.
It falls kindly for him, doesn't it? But you spot on there. It's just there's that many bodies in the way that it's always awkward to get a shot off. And if you do, the goalkeeper's stranded almost to make a save, isn't he? But another corner from that far side.
Yeah, this one is in towards the near post. Glancing header, and it's just gone beyond the far post. It might have come off a Dundee United player. Yes, goal kick given. The flick on at the near post from Forbes. Just perhaps wrong-footed Randall at the back stick. In fact, it's Sapsford at the back stick. He was caught on his heels a fraction. Another warning sign in many ways. There's height in this Terrace side that Rangers are struggling to deal with. Perhaps need to limit those set pieces. But it is still 0-0. And we've hit 32 minutes. I guess a month ago it seemed unlikely that there was no hydration. I was waiting for the end of the first quarter. Playing injury time at the end of the first quarter. It's not happened. As a long ball downfield from Ferry will bounce into the box. Randall's pulled it back on the half volley. That was a bit ambitious. It's cleared by Devlin. I think Naderi was eased off the ball, but Shankland's got the loose ball. Having said that, the referee didn't feel there was much of an advantage, so he has given a free kick to Rangers, which they've taken. Asgard out to Gassama, left-hand side, right on the touchline, halfway inside the Dundee United half, back to Asgard, back to the halfway line. And it seems a long time since Rangers have had this sort of control. I know it's on the halfway line, but they've been put under pressure, closed down, as you might expect from a fired-up home side, who certainly caused Rangers plenty of trouble last season. They scored 6 goals in 3 outings, at least 2 in all of them. A bit of a hopeful punt downfield from Fernandez in the end. Naderi was well marked. It's over his head. Oh, that's a giveaway from Ferry. Intercepted by Diamande. Ball into Asgard, 25 yards out. Onto his left foot. Shot blocked by Agay. Up into the air to Gassama. Let the ball bounce. And he's been allowed to get the ball as well. He's held off one challenge. Now he's allowed to turn. Left edge of the box. 2 yards from the goal line. On his right foot. Finds Asgard. Out to the left-hand side. Romans cross. Block behind for a corner. Romans is appealing. It's blocked by a hand. Presumably VAR will have a look if it was, but better control play from Rangers. They've got a set piece out of it.
Yeah, and it's just having a bit of possession and just taking the sting, I think, out of Dundee United a little bit. As you just spoke about the fans there at Tannadice, just get on the ball, knock it around for a couple of minutes. I'm not saying if an attack opens up, don't go for it, but just have a bit of the ball. The set pieces have been lacking for Rangers, I think, so far, and it's another in-swinger from Asgard.
Towards the far post, headed away, and headed away well. Up towards the centre circle. Devlin's there first. Romans, he tried to play an early ball in. It's blocked up in the air and it's fallen short. That means Dundee United have bodies down the field. Oh, it's a poor pass from Randall. It was just a little bit behind Tate in the end, and he couldn't adjust his footing. But that was almost a 4-on-2 because Rangers were getting back, but they were playing catch up. Now they're on the attack. Sterling, right hand side. On the edge of the box, left-footed shot, it's low and it's not too far beyond the far post. And again, it was a late dive from Walton. I don't know if he saw it late, didn't look a million miles away, but it is a goal kick.
I think that was a little bit too easy for Stirling to cut inside there because he had no one on the overlap, didn't he? And usually you're expecting, if there's an overlapping fullback or winger, there's an opportunity. Just watching back the cross from on the left-hand side from Romans, I mean, it wouldn't have been a penalty, it was outside, wasn't it? It would have been a free kick anyway. The arm was a little bit high from Tate, I do have to say. So if that was in the penalty box, it might have been a little bit of worry about that. But the last couple of minutes, Rangers are just starting to get a bit of momentum. But again, whenever Dundee United are on the ball, they are giving Rangers a lot to think about.
Yeah, it's a silly defending in the end. He was only just on the... I mean, he even knew that his arms were up because he pointed to where he thought the free kick, should it be a free kick, was given. They settled for the corner in the end, but he was pointing outside the box. He knew he'd made a bit of a mistake. That there is in a right old battle with Forbes to try and get a loose ball back over the other way, and for a moment Rose is in behind, but Pander's come outside of his area with a diving header. He does find touch near the halfway line as well, But that's how quickly Dundee United are able to turn semi-defence into attack. I know if you beat the press, you can expose the pressing side, but I don't think Rangers are pressing. I don't know how to describe this, because the direct long balls are causing plenty of problems.
Yeah, and I think as well, you're right, the pressing, but I don't know how they're pressing at the same time, because there's obviously when you see a team press, you go, right, so the wingers are going to do this, the striker does this, the midfielder does this. I don't know where Naderi's playing. I don't know where Shankland's. Apart from Gassama playing on the left-hand side, the other front three, if you will, of Asgard, Shankland and Naderi, they're just picking up pockets of space that are on the left-hand side in the middle. So as soon as you get to the left-hand side of that back four for Dundee United, it's easy to beat the press because there's no one there following up unless it's Sterling, and if Sterling does, then you're going to beat the press because you're in behind him. But Gassama's got space here on the left-hand side, and here come Rangers.
Yeah, it's a one-on-one at the moment. Support is coming from Romans, making it 2-on-2. Gassama tries to go around the outside, slip, needs another touch, right-footed cross, it's low, it's only turned to the edge of the box, another shooting opportunities. Diamandi, and that's not too far away, just over the bar on his left foot. He was going away from goal, great effort, just a fraction too high, but curling obviously above the far corner. Looking at a replay, in fairness to Walton, he looked to be underneath it, so had it been low, he's probably going to save it. The stats for you: Dundee United have actually closed up the possession. It's pretty much 50-50, a slight edge for Rangers. 5 shots for the home side, 9 for the visitors. Of course, that Diamandi strike, the latest of those. And Rangers have hit the target 3 times, but I don't think we're going to suggest that Walton's... actually, in fairness, Walton's had a decent strike as Dundee United are on the attack. This should be a goal! Oh, and it is in the goal! In the back of the net. I don't know if I could describe that as hitting Rose, trickling past the stranded Panda. It wasn't clinical finish. I think he's trying to control it, and that might have wrong-footed Panda. He's dribbled inside the far post. Panda couldn't recover. Dundee United have the lead. Rose will be the goal scorer, and he's celebrating like he scored a worldie. I think that's a complete accident, but credit to Dundee United. They've taken the lead in the 38th minute.
I mean, as you say, it just kind of hit him and trickled in, didn't it? And it was just, for a second, you went, oh, that's hit him. Oh, it's in the back of the net. It's really poor from Rangers. Once again, it's just a ball poked to the right hand side. It's a good ball in from Randall, nothing special. Sapsford leaves it, so I don't know if he gets a shout from Rose, possibly, or he sees his striker running in. And I think he's stretching for it, trying to take a touch and then set himself up for it. But it's a heavy touch. That ends up in the back of the net in all the best ways for the forwards, and you can just see Panda. He's trying to reach it, but he's never going to get there. I mean, it's a little bit of quote unquote luck because, as you say, he's not hit it as a strike, as it's a touch or just an outstretched leg to get on the end of it. But when you've been positive like Dundee United have been, sometimes you deserve a little bit of luck. Of course, they've already played a couple of League Cup games. Have Dundee United? He's got 3 goals in that. But his first game in the league and his first goal in the league, well, I mean, Dundee United, by hook or crook, they won't care. They've got the lead. Yeah,
I mean, there's a million reasons why this is not good from a Rangers perspective. Rose is on the floor when Fernandez is stood next to him, and then Rose is free in the box because Fernandez hasn't tracked him quickly enough. There's no desire to get goal side. He might argue that he's not marking anybody, but he is. The cross came in from the right, and Sterling's marking Sapsford, who scored. It's Fernandez's man. Rose has sprinted into the box and Fernandez is strolled, and Dundee United are on the attack again. That ball's a little bit ambitious. Don't think it might have taken a deflection actually. But looking at a replay as well, there's no denying in my head that there's almost disappointment. Rose, his head drops because he knows he's miscontrolled it, and then he looks it up. His head literally comes up and he sees it's trickling inside the post and he starts celebrating. There's no doubt that is an accident.
Yeah, you can spot that. He looks up going, oh, I've messed up. And as he looks up, he can see the Dundee United fans are celebrating. He's probably going, what are you celebrating for? Oh, it's in the back of the net. Oh, lovely. I didn't mean to do that, but I'll take it. It'll go down as my goal. So, you're right. That proves how much of a good mistake it's ended up being. But at the back, I mean, we just saw there, Can you call it a back four? Is it a back two for Rangers? I know, as we said, there's a bedding time and different tactics and all that. But the back four for Rangers, I could not tell you how they're trying to communicate, link up, and Dundee have taken advantage of that. And yeah, it's a bit of luck, isn't it? But sometimes you deserve a bit of luck.
Yeah, it's not working defensively. That's not because they've been battered, because Dundee United haven't had that many shots. They've got another cross in from the left-hand side. Ferry headed far post, but got underneath it. Randall, he's won the header, but it's a looping header high over the bar, probably wide of the post as well. But it's just the way that Dundee United are able to get into crossing positions. It's too quick, too easy. They can't kind of regroup Rangers. As I say, I'd be fuming if I was Derek McInnes with Fernandez. He's kind of just eased Rose onto the floor, but Rose is the only one that's reacted. He's picked himself up and gone chasing a loose ball, and Fernandez is ambling back there. He might suggest Romans could have done more to block the cross, but Fernandez, it's just not a great look. Ball into the box, back to goal. Shankland lays it out to the right hand side, stood up to the far post. Gassama challenges. Not sure if it's him or Asgard who got the header. It might have even been Forbes between them. It's pumped away by Esselink though downfield, picked up by Fernandez in the centre circle to the feet of Shankland, who holds it up well enough. Diamandi in support, looping cross. He's got that horribly wrong. It's a miscue. It's gone straight as well. I was going to say that's gone over everybody, but he's hit it straight, and so it's out of play. Behind for a goal kick with just about 43 minutes on the clock. Independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary. And Derek McInnes, I mean, he might feel disappointed, I don't know. 9 shots to 7, 3 on target to 1, but can he complain they're behind? I don't know.
I don't think. I think again it's because maybe how Dundee scored it was again a bit of luck, wasn't it? Maybe that's what you would say if you're the new Rangers boss. That it was a bit of luck, but they've been got at the entire 43 minutes that we're into now, and I just feel the players they're not really living up to the standards that maybe he wants. I mean, well, also you spoke about Shankland being isolated. Every time he's fizzed into his feet, isn't he? He's having to hold it up. He's done it now. He's got a bit of support with the dairy, but then that's a poor pass from him. So the attack comes to a halt. Rangers just look like they haven't had a pre-season, and this is their first game. Still trying to get together new signings and all that. It's not really working. I mean, maybe he has to go to the bench. I know you've already spoke about it that they are missing a couple of players. Fair enough, but I know that the Rangers boss want that as an excuse, and they need to come out in the second half firing, and maybe even hope they obviously don't go 2-0 behind in the last few minutes of the first.
Yeah, they're only a goal down. No need to panic at the moment. I know Dundee United scored 6 against Rangers last season, but Rangers of course scored 8 in the same 3 games. There's no need to panic. Possession 51-49 in the Gers' favour, but they must have had 5 shots in the opening 10 minutes, and of course they've only had 5 since. So Dundee United have certainly grown into the game. Nothing clear cut, and the goal's a fluke in some ways. In other ways, it's a tap in, and he should have scored. Just the way that it went in. Good run from Gassama. Edge of the D, and he's gone for absolute power. He didn't try and curl it into the top corner. He's trying to smash it as hard as he could. He sliced it horribly wide. It's too high as well. It was a good run. That's a bit more positive from Gassama, but obviously the end product not there.
No, it wasn't. That's the only problem, because as you say, I think from picking up the ball, taking it from the left-hand side into basically the edge of the area, that was brilliant from the winger, but then lacking that final shot, that final touch, that final piece of quality. I will say as well, though, you especially with your replay back, you could say if you're Shankland, why don't you pick me out? Shankland in the dairy, if you're Gassama, you're looking at, well, where's the run? There's no run for him to pick out, so he has to go for the shot, but he's a really, really poor effort. But that is much better to get back into the game and get a bit of momentum to build onto the second half.
Yeah, it's Dundee United into 1 minute of stoppage time that are on the attack, though. Left-hand side, no surprise. Aguirre's up in support this time, and he's beat the first challenge. Left-footed cross is a bit too deep, and it's a bit too straight as well. It's bounced out of play, and it will be a goal kick to Rangers, but they've got around about 30 seconds left of the opening half before a bit of hairdryer treatment from Derek McInnes, I fancy, just to buck their ideas up. I think Jim Goodwin, by contrast, will be pretty pleased. I know there haven't been too many clear-cut opportunities, but you've just got to take one. And Dundee United couldn't have expected to be gifted chances. They've worked hard for their one-goal advantage, but it's only just about halfway in the game. A long way to go. Rangers free kick deep inside their own half. Seconds are left, and in fact, because it's been taken, that is the end of the first half. So an early season shot for Rangers on the cards. At the break, it is Dundee United 1, Rangers 0.
Half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the cards at the moment, as it is a host Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half. Half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the cards at the moment, as it is a host Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half. Half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the cards at the moment, as it is a host Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half. Half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the cards at the moment, as it is a host Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half. Half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the cards at the moment, as it is a host Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half. Half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a
shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0,
thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose. Strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half-time. Ball into the box from the right-hand side from Randall. Stretching for it was Rose, trying to take a heavy first touch. Who knows, we'll have to ask the striker after the game, but it ended up in the back of Ivo Pando's goal, meaning that at half-time, for the first time in 5 years, Dundee United are on the verge of beating Rangers 1-0 at the half-time at Tannadice Park, and there is a shock on the count at the moment, as it is a host. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0, thanks to Lachlan Rose strike just before half. And it's a warm welcome back to the second half of unofficial off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Tannadice Park. We're just about to get underway for the second 45. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0. They're going from right to left, are the host in this second half. Just about to get underway, and there we go. Rangers left to right, the host right to left, and they go straight for the long ball to the right-hand side to Randall, overhit. And a play for a throw-in for Rangers. I will take you through the 11s of both the sides in just a moment, but there has been a double change for Rangers, and it's a positive one. You'd have to think. On ball forward, Diamande, heavy touch, and then a play for a throw-in. Naderi and Gassama are off, and Dan Neil, the former Sunderland man, and Chimiti are on in their place. So possibly a 4-4-2 diamond shape. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see what Derek McInnes goes within the second half as it goes on. But the host, the leaders, 1-0 up thanks to Rose's first half. Can't call it a strike, touch, heavy touch, bit of luck, who knows, but it did end up in the back of the net. Ball on the right side, Randall puts it in. It's Sapsford who just leaves it, lets it run through his legs, and Rose with an outstretched left foot, quite clearly trying to take a touch and then set himself. It just trickles into the back of the net. Pando, nothing he could do about it. Poor defending really from Rangers, and United lead 1-0 coming into this second half. Myself, Lewis Rafter, joined by Rob, edited through all the action of this second half. And well, Derek McInnes, he'll be wanting a reaction, he'll be wanting some positivity, as you rightfully said. They never really had control, as there's going to be the first yellow card of this game, and it's the first interaction for Dan Neil, a late foul, and the referee Nick Walsh getting his card out for the first time in this game. Just watching it back, I thought it was a bit late. It is a bit late as well, actually, on the top of the foot of Emmanuel Ajayi there. So yellow card for Neil. First opportunity in the Rangers shirt, and he gets a yellow card straight away. I want a reaction. As you rightfully said, there was no control from Rangers in that first half. Now it seems he almost just packed on central midfielders. There's no real width apart from the fullbacks, I feel. And then two forwards with Chimiti and Shankland, with Asgard, Diamande, Devlin, Neil, all central players, maybe to try and get a bit of control. How do you see the second half playing out?
Oh yeah, the ball's actually worked in by Ferry there. It was a misjudgment from Sterling. He got underneath the ball, but it is cleared out of play. It will be a long throw. I mean, it's tough to work out. I mean, I thought Neil's unlucky there. Okay, he's beaten to the ball, but I mean, if you slow it down and a slow-mo, it looks later than it was. I mean, there's very little in it. No treatment needed. Referee gave a yellow card straight away. It wasn't a stab. I thought that was a harsh yellow card, but yeah, Rangers have got to play better. Long throw comes into the box. Not sure whose head it came off, but it's easy for Panda to deal with. Yeah, the first half just I don't know whether they were going through the motions. They had more shots, more possession, more on target, but they didn't look as though they were on top. It's fairly even. Of course, they're a little bit unfortunate with the goal, but I do think Dundee United have been a bit more positive. They've got a plan. They know what they're doing. Okay, it's fairly simple, but it's working to a degree, and I'm not sure what Rangers' plan is. I don't think there's much midfield action going on. There was no width, and they struggled to get balls into the actual area, but a lot of their shots were from outside the box. They had their moments, but I guess Asgard's going to have to be a bit more creative as he tries to set Roman's way down the left, and his cross took a deflection. That's forced Esselink to clear. He could have done better. He's put it behind for a corner. So it's a set piece. Maybe that's the way forward for Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke about there's no width in the first half. I don't think there's been much in this second half, apart from Romans on the left and Sterling on the right as the fullbacks. Maybe Asgard might play as the wide. Maybe Asgard and Diamande are forward players who are playing a little bit wider. I'm not too sure, but as Rob rightfully says, will be an in-swinging corner all the way to the back post. Fernandez back across the face of goal. Into the 6-yard box. Chimiti with a few stabs at it. Cleared away in the end by United, all the way to the halfway line. It's a good clearance as well, actually. Into the feet of Romans. Neil 1-2 back to the full-back. Floats one into the box. Opportunity there, nodded away by an orange jersey and out for another corner. Dangerous header back from Fernandez. He's very similar to those long throw-ins you spoke about. So many bodies, so you can't really get a chance there. But again, better into a dangerous area for Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're defending the corner, so Dundee United have had lots of players back. There were a couple of shots, but pretty much blocked at source. But yeah, good run from Fernandez to get round the back. And he wasn't overly greedy. He just tried to keep it alive, and shots blocked, etc. Another set piece.
Will be an outswinger from Asgard into good position again. Cleared away out for another corner, so 3 successive corners for the visitors. It will be from the other side. It's quickly taken by Diamande, swung into a good area. Fernandez with the header on target. It's saved, spilled, and then saved once again by Walton. Fernandez, all 6'6" of him, every single set piece. You feel he's the danger man there. It was quickly taken by Rangers. I think it's a good ball in that left-hand side. He's free in the just about the penalty spot, if you will, as I will bring it back to that chance in a moment. Long ball forward, Panda, sweeper keeping there and clears his lines. Looking back on it, I don't think it's a terrible header. I think he should pick a corner as to where he should head it from, but he aims it low, makes it awkward for Walton. But should he be doing better, Fernandez, in that opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. I don't think the header is a problem. Asgard on the attack onto his right foot. He strikes. Oh, and that's a fingertip over the crossbar. That was a thunderous effort from Asgard. And it was headed inside the post, I think. Obviously, Walton's taken no chances. Onto his right foot. I mean, he's just hit it hard. It was actually a couple of feet inside the post, so you'd expect a keeper to perhaps deal with it, which he has done. He's got 2 hands, palmed it away. Another set piece.
They're really racking up the corners. 4th in the second half alone, and we're just over 6 minutes into it. Will be Asgard once again an outswinger, pour into the front post. It's a decent clearance as well in the end, and it forces Devlin chase back almost into his own half, and he will go back to his goalkeeper. Panther will look to pump it along. Fernandez is still up there. He's a target. Doesn't get to the header first. Asgard nods it back for the centre-back. Good tackle in the middle. And now could there be a counter-attack for Dundee United down the left-hand side? Sapsford into the goal scorer. He pokes it forward, looking for Randall, but I do believe he would have been offside. I think the ball was a little bit overhit for him anyway. But this game is opening up because Rangers are opening up a little bit more as well. Neil down the left-hand side. Chimiti, is he onside? Still going forward. Strike comes in. It's saved. Second attempt is then saved off the line and out for a corner. And now Rangers really piling the pressure on. I'm thinking with Diamande's face, it might have been, yes, the flag does go. Chimiti looked like he went just a second too early on the run, but Rangers really are piling the pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, looking, he hasn't gone too early. He just never quite was onside. Is that good defending? Dundee United weren't sure. They weren't appealing for offside, so I can't say it's good defending. It's a good little pass through from Neil, but of course the advantage with the Rangers player was the fact that he was a yard or so just in front. But you've got to credit the Terrors for blocking the shot. I mean, it's a tight angle for Walton to save, but then running onto it, Diamandi, defenders are back there making sure it's not free passage. Here go Rangers again.
Now long ball to the left-hand side to Chimiti. Takes a touch. I think he wants a corner or maybe even a free kick, trying to take it past Esselink there. But Chimiti is trying to get himself about. He's playing a similar, maybe more to the left-hand side role that the Dairy did in the first half, but definitely getting a little bit more involved. And if anything, I think Esselink maybe just pokes it off the boot of Chimiti there. But he's making those dangerous runs down the left-hand side. 53 minutes on the clock. Dundee United 1, Rangers 0. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action. We said it was open in the first half. It definitely is in the second 45. You spoke about all the goals that were scored between the sides in the games last year, Rob. Of course, Dundee United haven't beaten Rangers since 2021, 5 years ago. So maybe that's a curse there. They might get rid of this evening. But so far, Rangers have come flying out of the traps. But the longer they go without getting that equaliser, it might not come, of course, the more frustration it might get for Rangers this evening.
Yeah, but I didn't like a reaction from Rose a moment ago. He went down clutching his face, hoping to get a free kick right in front of the linesman who gave nothing, and neither did the referee, and so he got up. But I mean, he went down in the first place, which obviously I don't necessarily like. But like you say, frustrations could play a part. I like at least the fact that Rangers have realised that there's an intensity needed. They seem to have upped the urgency. Dundee United are trying to respond. They've got a long throw, which actually headed back by Fernandez to the throw-in take. Another cross comes in, deflected. This time Godfrey heads it cleared. Chimiti away, and there could be a break on.
Diamande trying to drive forward. He's brought back there, and will the referee bring it back? Yes, he will, and that'll be the second yellow card of the game as well. A bit cynical, it has to be said. And Diamande's not happy at all with Savelge as he has his arms all over him, bringing him back. He knows exactly what he's doing. Rangers, and it was a good touch from Chimiti, but well defended then by Jay to stop the attack. So will be a second yellow card of the game. First yellow card for Dundee United. Vico Savelge, first yellow card of the season, of course. With the game, he goes into the referee Nick Walsh's book along with Dan Neal. To both sides with cards now. Rangers take the free kick shot. Diamande nearly loses the ball, but it's still intact with the visitor Sterling. He hasn't done much in this second half, not been involved too much. Godfrey, thought he took a heavy touch and nearly lost the ball there, but does well to win his side throw-in. About halfway into the Dundee United half, actually it's a little bit closer to the halfway line, I should say. Just seeing Dylan Tay on our pictures, the skipper for United. Looks like Sterling wants to go for the long throw down the right-hand channel. He's got Chimiti there, looking for the header on into Shankland. He does, and he tries to run it forward for Asgard. Battle in the air between Sterling and Tate. Into the box for Shankland. He holds it off. Asgard's got an opportunity, and he equals the scoring on the evening. He had that strike from outside the area, that fizzing one a few minutes ago. Great play from Chimiti and Shankland. Just strong hold-up play from both forwards. Takes a nice touch with Asgard onto his right foot, back onto his left. And it's a strike that Walter might even get fingertips onto it, but still flies into the back of the net. It was Shankland battling away. And actually, it's Forbes, I believe, in the end, who actually wins the battle in the air for the heading of the ball. He nods it into the path of Asgard. I think that's a great first touch. And on his left boot, he fizzes that into the left-hand side of the goal. Walton gets a touch. Too much power on it from Asgard. Dundee United 1, Rangers 1.
Yeah, I mean, they stepped up the urgency and they got the rewards. I thought they got a bit narrowed there, Dundee United. I mean, obviously Rangers are playing quite narrow, but like you mentioned, the two front men of, okay, they didn't win a header, but the fact that they're challenging and making themselves a nuisance. It was out on the right wing, Chimiti, just trying to keep that throw in. Because he's put the Dundee United player under a bit of pressure, he can't clear his line, so it's a ball into the box. Shanklin just leans into a defender. He can't get any purchase on his header. Brilliant first touch from Asgard, because Rawlins looked as though he could have had an opportunity. Chance at the other end, but Godfrey's recovered. He's managed to poke it behind for a corner. That was he was exposed to 2-on-1 situation. He was just closest to the ball, but they've just equalised, Rangers, and they've almost offered an immediate opportunity. They have from a set-piece perspective. But, yeah, I do like that finish from Asgard. Brilliant first touch. Not fantastic defending, but thunderous strike. Bolton, no chance.
I mean, how many times do you see as well? I like that it was on his weak left foot that he was happy to take it on. How many times do you see players so adamant on taking it on the strong foot? Lovely finish from Asgard, but as Rob said, Dundee United have a chance to regain their lead straight away. Another ball into the box, falls in the edge of the area, strike comes in, it's blocked away. Not quite sure off of who. Sterling closes it down, clears it away, but a sliding tackle from Tate clears the ball out for a goal kick for Rangers. So a great first 13 minutes of the second half for Rangers. It's got that away section on their feet now. They're booming and they're clapping their team, looking for possibly going into the lead, just approaching the hour mark. It is 1 apiece. Rangers, though, do have the momentum, as Rob rightfully said. They have just upped that intensity. They've upped one. That's a mistake at the back door by Fernandes. Rose has a chance, never really falls for him. In the end, Romans comes to the safety and the saviour, really, of Fernandes. But once again, that's almost that Rangers have had a great start to the second half. You've got the equaliser. Fernandes has had a good start to the second half himself, and almost a mistake allows Dundee United back into it.
Yeah, he might have been out of position for the previous corner, which of course Godfrey just about dealt with, but again they were exposed, that middle two, and that's just a mistake. I don't know whether it's nonchalance. The intensity's gone because they've got an equaliser. I mean, the intensity works because they've had the chances. They're not any clear cut, obviously, blocks from corners, things like that. But they have already had 6 shots in the second half because they were playing at a fast tempo. Now, of course, they've eased off a fraction, and who's attacking? It's Dundee United. They haven't learned. I mean, obviously, Dundee United might have started this second half slowly, but they're coming on strong now. They've been pegged back.
They are. They're looking to regain their lead. Long throw in comes in. Pando makes a mess of it. It's still in the penalty area. Fernandes makes an even more of a mess of it. Asgard will slice his clearance away. Dundee will keep the ball. Trying to win it there on the left-hand side is Romans, and he will do well. I think Malif will throw him for his side. Ferry is in a heap as well. Our picture show him there. But that's once again, is that, as you say, is that a bit of nerves from Pando because then Fernandes makes another mistake? Is it that Dundee are putting the pressure back on them?
Well, I mean, they haven't defended as if they know what they're doing in the first hour, so I just think it's another error. And it's not just the first error. I mean, they could clear their lines. I don't know what Fernandes is doing. Just clear your lines. He's slowing it down. And why Ferry stayed down, hoping he's going to get a penalty? I don't know. He's put a block on the clearance, or he's tried to, and then he's clutching his back as though it's a penalty. Doesn't need treatment. Play continues. But the game's spiced up. Needed that, but. I mean, Rangers, they don't look solid at the back at all.
Every time Dundee United come forward, they look like they could cause a lot of problems. But here come Rangers. Ball into the box on the right-hand side from Diamande. He's cleared away, only as far as a throw-in for Rangers. Sterling's going to come over to take it. It's a bit of an argument, I think, of who's taking it. It will be Shanklin. I can imagine that's because he's going to go for the long throw, and I can assure you would want the skipper in the box in this situation. Maybe he's the only one who's got the long throw. In saying that, when you've got Godfrey and Fernandes who can come forward, maybe that's the play you want instead of Shanklin. He puts it in and makes an absolute meal of it. Diamande does well to keep hold of it, but the referee will bring it back, and that was, I mean, Shanklin, you make this whole deal of it. No, I'm going to take the throw. No, I'll come over and take this long throw in. and he gets it absolutely wrong. He's got a grin on his face. But again, it just feels like momentum was had there for Rangers, and it's just taken away from them by a silly throwing that goes wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the other long throw options. They're going to be better than what we've just seen. It could have slipped out of his hand, I don't know. But at least he saw the funny side. I'm not sure Derek McGuinness did, but I mean, Ferry's got a smile on his face. I don't know whether they're exchanging tactics. Shankland looks as though Esseling might have a problem. He's being helped up the... Well, an arm round the shoulder. He's not being helped. That's a change. We didn't say that. Where did this injury come from? Mayovo's come on for Esseling. I don't think that's wanted by Jim Goodwin. He must have picked up an injury because there was a medical member of staff walking him up the touchline. Didn't see that at all. But Esseling is off, replaced by Mayovo.
And there's going to be another defensive change, this time though for Rangers with Godfrey. He's going to be leaving the field, so that's another change for Rangers with Ross McCrory coming on for him. So you'd have to think that's more of a, not attacking change, but defensively attacking might be a change. I mean, Godfrey looks like he's got his shirt over his head, so he might have picked up a knock as well. I don't know, again, things on our pictures that we're seeing. His unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary, so I'm not quite sure what's happened with either defender, but both of them are injured, and Godfrey now seeing pictures of him half a limp, I want to say. I mean, he looks to be a bit frustrated, upset. I can imagine it's the first game of the season, you want to make an impact. It's pre-season, so you're not maybe 100%. You pick up a knock and you know, right, I've got a long road ahead of me now. Maybe you've got 6 weeks or so, and then you've got to on top of getting fit. It's always awkward getting injured at this time coming into the start of the season. But McCrory's going to slot in at right back. It looks like Sterling's going to slot in as a centre back for now. I don't know if that might change as the game goes on. Ball into the feet of Diamandi. He's fouled by Savelge. He's on a yellow card. I'm not saying that was a second one, but he's just got to be a little bit careful. Neil to the left-hand side to Rommins, and now maybe Rangers just a bit of possession. But to say that Sterling's going to win at centre-back, well, you were saying before the game, we don't even think he's a right-back, and now he's playing centrally next to Fernandes.
Yeah, I think, again, he's probably played there before on numerous occasions. Rangers are on the attack, and McCrory might be more willing to get in support right-hand side. We saw it a few times. I thought Sterling put in a couple of good balls, but I mean, credit to him that he's, versatile, and I suppose now he can actually leave the left-sided problem, which hasn't been so prevalent in the second half. I'll have to admit, first half, a lot of Dundee United attacks were coming down the left-hand side, and haven't seen it so much in the second half. Rangers are back on the attack, but Dundee United deal with it. But it's now McCrory's problem. He's overlapping Diamandi, is ignored at the moment, but Sterling will hope to just slot in alongside Fernandes. They should be used to playing with each other.
Yeah, you would like to think so, wouldn't you? Right-hand side, Neil will put a ball into the back sticks, looking for Chimiti. It's nodded away and out for another corner for Rangers. Can imagine this is where Fernandes will come forward, and he might be the option. Asgard has been on set-piece duty all evening long for the visitors, and it will be an in-swinging opportunity for the Norwegian. 65 minutes on the clock. Dundee United 1, Rangers 1. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action this evening at Tannadice Park. Nick Walsh was having a word with the skipper, Dylan Tate, and Sterling. Maybe a bit of pushing and shoving in the penalty area, but he's not happy with what he was seeing. Of course, Rangers, as I said, I think there will be Shankland, Chimiti, Fernandes have got options, but Dundee United have done really well whenever they've had to defend them. That's a good ball into the box, or into the 6-yard area. Cleared away, not into all as far as Asgard. So a swing one into the box, but right into the breadbasket of Walton, and he's going to get the ball where he wants to get it back underway quickly. Looks to punt it along to the right-hand side, and it's a great ball. Randall lets it bobble a few times, never really gets it under his control. Devlin does well to slide in and just knock it out for a throw-in, and I can imagine that this is where Ferry will go over to the right-hand side. He's definitely, every time it's on the right-hand side, I bet a bit of him goes, I have got to go from right to left to right all the time. But that was a good ball, I thought, from Walton, just never fell for Randall.
Yeah, and again, where's the defence? I know they're on the attack, but there were still 2 Dundee United players downfield, and you've got a midfielder tracking a winger. Something's gone wrong there. Long throw comes in, and again, it's not a good bounce for Dundee United. They're still on the attack, though. Ferry right edge of the box, crosses left-footed, head away near post. Good header clear as well from Fernandes. Aguirre tries to keep it alive. Dundee United still going.
On the left-hand side of the penalty area, ball back across the face of goal. No one there in an orange and black jersey. Fernandez will just stab it clear. Only as far as the left-hand side. It will be a throw-in. Went in to see is Ferry going to come over and take it. Yes, he is. There was a thought they might have a quick one on the left-hand side opportunity to play it down the left to Sapsford, and then he can get a ball into the box. But Ferry will come back from all the way from the right-hand side to the left-hand side to put another long throw-in in. He puts it into a dangerous area. Heads go up. Fernandez is the one to nod it away, only as far as Diamandi, and then McCrory puts his laces through that one, and the chase is on for Chimiti. He does well to nearly come away with the ball. A guy there, good defensive play. Chimiti wants a free kick. I thought the midfielder won the ball. Ball sprayed from left to right. Lovely first touch on the right-hand side. Is that a foul from Robbins? Then holds him. And he will win a free kick with the Dundee United winger on the right-hand side. And United do now have a set-piece opportunity. Lovely ball. And Randall there. It's just really silly from Robbins because he puts his arms round him. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a foul, but he gives the winger the opportunity to go down.
Yeah, the umpire. Too much cricket. The referee can see it. To me, that is 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Yes, Robbins is grabbing Randall. Randall is grabbing Robbins. And he's still grabbing Robbins as he's going down when he's been let go. So he's holding the defender for a whole lot longer than the other way around.
Ball into the box, punched away by Pander, falls to the edge of the area. But Rangers do get players out trying to press. Ball into the box, is cleared away. Shankland now. Opportunity for Rangers on the counter-attack. The blue jerseys half line forward. Ball down the right side for Diamandi. Great tackle coming in there by the skipper Tate. Just puts it out for a throw-in. And this game is for the taking for one of these teams. Will it be the host Dundee United? It's currently Dundee United 1, Rangers 1. Just about to trickle into the 69th minute. Just as you said in the first half, Rob, I feel like we're going into the fourth quarter. We're so used to those hydration breaks over the summer. There's a ball from right to left. Diamandi looks to ping it out to the left. No one is there. Robbins is there with a chase. He gets there first, but only can touch it out for a goal kick for United. It's one apiece at Tannadice Park, and I'll pass you over to Rob to take us through to full time.
Yeah, cheers, Lewis. Level pegging then, and with a quarter of the game remaining, just about. There will be some stoppage time as well. In fairness, there hasn't been too many stoppages on a couple of goals. Even the injury that we've had seemingly for Esselink, that hardly took time off the clock. There's been one shot since the Asgard goal, and it's gone the way of Dundee United. Whether it's because they've responded to the goal, whereas Rangers have changed tactic, I don't know. I did hint that their intensity is gone, but of course it could just be that Dundee United have stepped up. It's difficult to gauge. Obviously, the ebbs and flows of football matches, you do wonder sometimes why sides are defensive and then all of a sudden it's gung-ho when they're a goal behind and they score, etc, etc. It looks as though whatever was troubling Godfrey, he did go down the tunnel to get a bit of treatment. He's back in the dugout, as it were, now, so he's had his treatment as McCrory pickpockets his man at the edge of the box. A little 1-2 work comes the way of Shankland, no shooting opportunity, and then it's a heavy touch. Neil's blocked the clearance though. Diamandi's picked up the loose ball. He's gone down under a challenge from Aguirre. Diamandi stayed down. It was probably 50-50, and now of course Devlin's penalised for catching Tate, and Rangers are frustrated. Free kick to Dundee United halfway inside their own half. Got a piece of the ball looking at a replay, Aguirre, and Diamandi stayed down. I do think Tate's gone down very easily. The referee's quite happy to give free kicks, though, I believe.
I thought it was a good tackle from the United midfielder, personally. Maybe he went down. We're just seeing pictures now of the man who scored the goal, Rose. He's just gone off, but he's already been taped up. I mean, we haven't seen anything about Esselink either, have we? I know, as we say, we saw pictures of Godfrey, but the Dundee United defender went off straight away. We haven't seen anything about him, so couldn't tell you if it was a fitness-related issue or not, but that's a long ball forward and it's not his down. Here come the hosts.
Benny, just on the edge of the box, rides one challenge, but the second one comes in from Sterling. Ricochets off Devlin, goes behind. That's from the edge of the box. A little bit unfortunate for Rangers, fortunate for Dundee United that they've got a corner. But it's a set piece with less than 19 minutes of the 90 to go. And then, of course, whatever stoppage time is added on. As I say, I don't think the game has been stopped overly. And, of course, we don't have the hydration break. So at the moment, I don't think there'll actually be that much stoppage time. That's a fair way away. Corner to Dundee United on the left-hand side. Delivery is deep. Free header, far post, back into a dangerous area. McCrory heads it behind. The referee... He's going to give, I think, a goal kick. Maybe Sapsford didn't keep it in. He was as free as a bird, about 10 yards beyond the far post. But I think they felt the corner actually went out of play.
Yeah, I don't know if when he's headed it, it's just out of play. I'm not too sure. It's an in-swinger. But as you say, they've got away with one there as Rangers because he was free at the back sticks trying to nod it back across. It wasn't the greatest of header from the United forward. So... Rangers got away with that, but they've got away with that with the corner and the poor marking, the poor defending, because they've got the ball back now. But you're right, I feel when Rangers scored, they almost went back into the mode of, well, it's one apiece now, we're level, aren't we? We're not going to attack as much. I thought they should have gone and tried to get the second straight away, whereas now it's all square and momentum. Neither team has momentum, so trying to build that back up. But they do have the ball and opportunities come forward down the right.
Yeah, on the right, excuse me, on the right-hand side, I haven't seen so much down the left-hand side from Rangers this second half. Asgard appear to be playing there. Excuse me, they are bossing possession second period, but most of that would be before the equaliser, 65%. It's still a fair chunk, obviously. 6 shots to 1, 3 on target to 0. That's in the second half. But... that might have been the case when the equaliser went in. That was in the 56th minute. And so we've had coming up to 20 since then. Rangers have got a corner though. Asgard's gone across to take it. He's probably been as creative as anyone in blue in this game. And of course he's the man who got the equaliser. Great strike from just beyond the penalty spot, fairly central. His corner's floated in towards the far post. Good header clear from Benny back there, I think it was. And then Rawlins is able to hook it downfield. Only to Romans on the halfway line. It will be closed down by Sapsford, but there's only Sapsford up there. So Rangers with those players back, including Neil in possession now. Are controlling this particular passage of play into the 75th minute, one apiece. Rangers coming from a goal down at the break to tie matters up. The little flick from Shanklin didn't work. Dundee United, that's a great ball through. Can Sapsford get there? No, out comes Pandey from his area. Sliding clearance down the other way. Chimiti will give chase, but it bounces through to Walton. That actually looked a pretty decent ball into the path of Sapsford, but Panda, not for the first time, is coming well out of his area, sweeping up.
Yeah, I feel like the lead that without that back four is so high, but so open as well. If that pass is a little bit less weighted, you've got a one-on-one opportunity there. And if not for us, well, I want to say it was blocked by Devlin. The first pass that went in as well, that would have been in behind on the right-hand side for Randall as well. So you do feel one pass can easily unlock this Rangers defence, and they pressed a bit better there. It's a United goal kick. They pressed a bit better there, did Rangers, but I just feel that Rangers have to put together a little bit of move, don't they, whereas the host can put one pass and unlock that defence.
And Walton has it. Risky-ish ball, but Tate's got there first. Clearance, though, from Iovu is blocked by Devlin into touch. It will be a Dundee United throw, but the 20 yards less than that probably from their own corner flag. Iovu, second half substitution, of course, replacing well, I'm guessing he's injured. The injured Esselink. We've seen Rose, of course, bandaged up. Looks like a hamstring. I don't know whether that's precautionary, but we haven't seen Esselink. Ball play back to Walton, who took a touch for a moment. It got Shanklin interested, but there's enough tangerines back there. They still have possession. Oh, that's a terrible giveaway from Randall. It's Rangers on the attack. Devlin to Shanklin, who can't square it for Chimiti. In steps Ferry to clear. Okay, lays it off to Savelge. It goes down the channel. Now, there's 2 or 3 there that are possibly offside, but again, it's exposed. It's a very high line. Flag goes up, offside given.
I think both looked offside. I mean, I watch it back in the end. No, actually, the man who came over the ball, so I want to say is that on the right hand side, Randall, who's watching it back, he is onside. And they both, it was, as you said, a very, very high line. Both looked very, very close to being offside. If the linesman let that run, you don't know what could have happened in terms of being a goal scoring opportunity. There's going to be a double change. So Velge and Sackford are going to come off, and Kamara and Metsoko, are going to come on. So that's fresh legs in the middle and in the forward areas. And when you have fresh legs who can get in behind due to that high Rangers line, it's going to cause them a lot of problems.
Yeah, I mean, Satsford, he was offside by about 2 yards, but it's 2 yards on the halfway line. He could have used the halfway line as a line of attack. He clearly wasn't looking down the line, and maybe that's influenced the linesman, because Randall looks a bit more adjacent to the halfway line, which of course isn't offside. But Tapsford's ahead of him. Might just got in his thinking. VAR might have been needed. Doesn't matter. Flag's gone up. Play stopped, and it's a Rangers free kick as Agge clatters into Devlin. Just physically strong. Oh, that's a late challenge. Rangers are in trouble. Yellow card comes out. I don't think they liked Devlin getting just basically out-muscled by Agge, and then Sterling certainly wasn't letting Benny go much further. He has picked up a yellow card, and he's not really complaining about it either.
No, he's probably just, ref, I'll take that one, to take one from the team, if you will. What, third yellow card of the game now, but only 2 players on the field, himself and Neil, of course. If Elge going off, he was the only yellow card he played for Dundee United, but it means it's a dangerous free kick as well, and Iovu, all 6'5" of him, could come into play here.
Delivery is deep to the far post. Wasn't controlled by a hand. It's not really scrambled clear. Needs a second clearance from Chimiti. Shankland miscued his first attempt. Comes back to the edge of the box from Ferry. Headed away. Headed back. Headed away. As it's bouncing about halfway inside the Rangers half. Eventually to the feet of Neil, who finds Devlin fed out to the left-hand side, and early ball, Diamandi. Shanklin in behind, great first touch, but great recovery from Ferry too. He's got the pace. That was a brilliant first touch. McCrory's won it back though for Rangers. Feeds it infield to Devlin. It's a fantastic crossfield ball. There's a lot to like about that last attack, including the defending from Ferry. Remains 1-1 with 11 minutes to go plus stoppage time. The Scottish Premiership opener. And of course there will be a few sides that would like to see at least Rangers not win this game. Ball into the box. Asgard goes for the overhead. I don't know why he didn't need to. It's wide of the post. It's good control on the chest, but then he's thought, well, the best thing to do here is do an overhead kick.
I don't know if he thinks he doesn't have as much space as he has, but it's a lovely first touch, as you said. Then I think he's in a panic, just gone, I've got to over kick this because I can't play. You could have taken that touch, you could have even played it to the left-hand side to the overlapping run. Was it Chimiti who was there? I might have even been Devlin. Neil was up there as well. But just going back to, as you say, that Chimiti, that ball into Shanklin was lovely. Then the touch, that would have been a superb goal, but it was great defending in the end with that block. But that's momentum. Rangers need to take that and go forward, because that was a lovely piece of play. Chimiti's been a great addition coming on at that half-time.
It's given away, though, by Bell and, Neil. As it's worked out to the left-hand side by Dundee United. That's under hit. McCrory coming forward for Rangers. McCrory, of course, rejoining the Ibrox club. Bristol City, his last venture. There's a challenge coming in. Another yellow card coming out. I think McCrory's just caught the ankle. It was a poor pass from him. Ferry's been caught, though, I think. Tried a little flick. Ferry got the block in, and he's motioned towards the ball. Is that a yellow card offence, Lewis?
I feel that one's again, as you said earlier about the yellow card. I feel for Neil. You watch it in slow motion, you go, oh, that's a bit late, and he catches him. But when I saw it, I thought, well, you're going for the ball. It's not late. He's just a little bit of. You've just got it wrong. As you say, it's a heavy first touch, so maybe that's him just, I want to get the ball back, and being a little bit frantic there. But I mean, he's come on and added a lot as McCrory, but just under 10 minutes to go, you do feel that either team could win this. It could be a draw, but the game is definitely up for grabs for a winning.
Looks like Rangers are going to make a change in the not too distant, not yet. Free kick actually came to nothing. They went long. Rangers have gone long in return, and that's gone through to Walton. Now Dundee United are coming forward. Kamara, good ball out to the right hand side, ball chipped into the box. Romans just make sure the run from midfield, Tate I think it was, couldn't get in behind. Having said that, the pass was too straight, and it's gone behind for a goal kick anyway. Pander wanted to take it, but looks as though it was already decided that the substitution was going to be made, and Finlay Curtis is coming on to replace the Cammy Devlin. And so another of the summer arrivals has departed from the starting 11. Of course, we have seen McCrory come on. It's obviously not his debut, his second debut for Rangers, as he's made a solid enough impact. Fernandez takes a little bit of a chance. He did well for a while, but kind of lost balance, and it's out of play for a throw in. The pass back was cut off, and he wrong-footed his marker, but then kind of lost control, and it is a long throw chance for Dundee United, albeit nearer the halfway line. So they're not going to send Ferry over there. He's gone back to Kamara, who's quickly closed down. So from the halfway line, he's returned it all the way to Walton, and Dundee United start again. Towering header won by Fernandez. Aguiar picks it up on the halfway line, holds off Shanklin. Kamara under pressure once more, finds Rawlins, who eases it down the right hand side, but the runner had gone deep. He played it short. Now Rangers attack the space with Romans. Tries to work the 1-2 with Asgard, does so. High and hanging cross towards the far post, just about dealt with by Benny and Ferry. Now the counter is on. Great recovery challenge though from the substitute, but then he's tackled himself, and so Dundee United, that's a great switch of play, could be a chance for Randall. 1-on-1 with the keeper, went for the chip, and it's a horrible attempt. He shut it at the back of the net. He's given a little tame catch to Pander. That should be 2 on Dundee United. A bit too clever for his own good.
Went for the cute finish, didn't he? I think you've put your laces through that, picked the bottom corner out. Pander came out and made himself big, and he almost just landed in his lap, didn't he? He went, I'll take that all day long. And now here come Rangers looking for the lead.
McCrory out on the right-hand side. 2 in the box to aim for. He's played it back to Neil. Into Shanklin's feet, just on the edge of the 6-yard box, back to goal. It's back to Neil, who's crossed, took a deflection. Aguiar gets the loose ball. Kamara's leading the counter. It's a heavy first touch, but Sterling's on a yellow card, so he can't make a challenge. And in fact, he's read the danger well, and he's won the free kick. Read the intentions of Kamara, got his body in the way. I think he went down quite easily, but the referee has been given those free kicks all game. I don't know where the left back's gone. Roman's not in shot, as Randall's got all the time in the world. I like the idea, but it only works if it comes off. If it doesn't, everybody will say, what on earth are you chipping for?
It's the same with a penalty, isn't it? If you do it, you look stupid. If it don't go in, you look the greatest thinker in the world. If that would have dinked over Pander, you'd think, what a cool, calm finish that is. And because Pander comes out, and Pander even looks a bit shocked, he goes, I'll catch that. And it was a lovely ball from Benny as well on the left-hand side to find him. I thought it was poor from Fernandez and from Romans out of position. Now they've got a free kick of Rangers.
Asgard with the delivery in from the halfway line. First out of one, I think, from McCrory. He's claiming it's taken a deflection off Dundee United player as it leaps harmlessly over the bar, but not given. Goal kick is, and so it will be Dundee United possession again into the final 5 minutes of the 90 at Tannadice. Independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary. And it's on as even as it was on the first 2 occasions that these two sides squared off last season. That, of course, didn't help Rangers' title bid. They did relatively well to get back into it, but then collapsed towards the finish line and finished 10 points behind Celtic in the end. They were probably favourites going into the split. That's how terrible that finish was. Obviously, Derek McInnes didn't quite get his side over the finishing line, losing the last game. First time they'd lost to Celtic on the final day of last season. I think it was 250 days they had led the Scottish Premiership for. But lost. Asgard has it for Rangers. Chimiti, he tried to work it back to Asgard, but lacked the pace or the precision to get to his teammate. Now the counter is on, and just for a moment, Sterling's squared up. McCrory spotted the danger. I guess I'm going to say Rangers are committed to going for the win with that high defensive line. Unless the defence has just entirely given up. It seems a very committed high line for a side that isn't really controlling possession.
Yeah, usually the whole point is, if you have a high line, it's but we have a lot of the ball and we're putting bodies into the opposition half, isn't it? It's not this back and forth of a high line. And, I think that's why, as you said, I don't know if it's from the manager. I don't know if it's the players taking a bit of responsibility. I'm not too sure. But if McCrory is not in that position to win the ball, I mean, they've almost got a 2-on-1 against Panda, haven't they? There, do the host, but it's really up. But I thought that from Chimiti, it was too obvious that he wanted to go back to Asgard, wasn't it? It was a poor pass anyway, but you felt the United defenders were just sat there going, well, we know you want to go there. So even when it goes there, Asgard's going to have no space. But Chimiti has been really good in the second half. I thought he's brought a lot to it in terms of just getting behind a little bit more. That's a poor clearance away from Pandur. And as you said as well, there's not going to be much added time that you'd think as well to the back end of the second half. So time is getting away from Rangers if they want to pick up 3 points under McInnes in his first outing.
Yeah, it's the opposite of a Thomas Tuchel, isn't it? Rather than have 10 men on the edge of the 6-yard box, it's 10 men on the halfway line. Nobody wants to defend.
It's one defender on the halfway line at best.
Nobody wants to defend in blue. Too soon? I don't know. I don't know about that one. 2 minutes left, and Rangers, of course, will point to the stats of the game, which suggests they've bossed it. 65% possession in the second half, translating to 56 overall. But they have had 20 shots to Dundee United's 9. And I think Dundee United had 7 in the first half. So in many ways, they're unlucky not to be in front. But in terms of clear-cut chances, they might have one now. Shot, tight angle, he's gone near post, has Chimiti, and Walton had that covered, scrambled away by Rawlins. It will be a throw-in fairly high up the field. I don't think they've got a long throw option, didn't need one, they've taken it short. Dundee United, 90 seconds to go, not defending particularly lively, and that's Paul Cross, unless it's offside, because the decision is going the way of Dundee United, I think, for a goal kick. I suppose Chimiti didn't have too many options, but he's gone near post and it's difficult to beat a keeper at that angle.
Yeah, you want to maybe open your body up and go for the curling effort to Walton's left at the far post, don't you? Shankland had his hands up in the air, but he was static. He wasn't giving him an option, was he? Curtis was at the back post. That would have taken a really good pass and a real good vision to get that one. I mean, he's already played a great pass into Shankland, so I'm not saying it's not in his locker, but they've lost it there. Here come United.
Yeah, through the middle and working out to the left-hand side. Curling at Sam, lack the power. I think Metsoko has actually fallen over. He's striking that ball, and so it dribbled down the middle of the goal. Very easy save for Panda. It is a shot on target. They haven't had many, Dundee United. I think that's a fourth. Of course, the one they scored from, I'm not calling that a shot, so I hope it's not counted. It was a miscontrol as it's hit long by Rangers, flicked on. Good header away there by Over, and Ferry should clear. He is closed down, he is leaned into by Chimiti, and it's a free kick given. The officials have been given those free kicks all game. Chimiti looks frustrated, but he's not playing the ball. He's kind of playing into Ferry. Yes, I'm going to call it soft, but he knows what he's doing. And as I say, the referee has been penalising those fouls all game. Silly, really.
Yeah, you've got to adapt to it, haven't you? And it is a little bit, as you say, he's not really playing the ball. I think that you're right. You've got to understand. Okay, the referee is going to. The linesman's going to give them. The referee's going to give them as fouls. I'm just not going to do it then, because Ferry's got nowhere to go. He's going to either clear it upwards into your own half. You probably win the ball back, or he clears it out for a throw-in for you to have. So you keep the attack alive. So yeah, maybe just a bit of frustration, because Chimiti just had it in his eyes. He was going to take a Ferry out there. A little bit silly from the forwards.
3 minutes of stoppage time, but we've had 40 seconds. Throw into Dundee United deep inside their own half. Of course, Rangers are trying to get it downfield fairly quickly, but more haste, less speed, perhaps in that particular instance. Long throw down the line from Ferry. It's actually glanced off the head of McCrory, so it will be a Dundee United throw now on the halfway line. Jim Goodwin wants a final push from his troops. 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining, into the second of 3. Just Ferry waiting for his options to make themselves available. He's got a long throw on him, goes down the line. McCrory heads away. Benny doesn't win the free kick. Loose ball's picked up though by Tate. Dundee United have possession. Fed back to the halfway line, worked out to the right hand side, and Randall's one-on-one, tried to a little nutmeg. It's a little bit fortunate the way it's gone to Rawlins, but then here's a pass. He's fallen over trying to win a free kick. He's blocked the clearance from Neil. He doesn't get the free kick, but he gets possession back as a cross from the right hand side is blocked by Asgard back there, out of play, throw in 5 yards from the corner flag. Dundee United, a minute stoppage time to go. And a set-piece chance.
It's an opportunity. I don't know if Ferry is going over, because Rawlins was looking at him and he was throwing his arms up in the air. So I don't know if it'll be the right back who's taking this one. I'm not too sure. But you either feel that Dundee United have got this opportunity in half to throw this long, throw this in the mixer. One last chance.
And it's not as long a throw, no surprise. They clearly didn't want Ferry out of position. There is a potential counter on for Rangers as Chimiti brings it forward. As he reached the halfway line, closed down by 2, he left the ball behind, and it's Agge who's won it back. Loose pass from Randall on the halfway line, and Diamandi's trying to bring it forward. He's ridden a couple of challenges. He's still going, driving into the box. Agge gets back, and I was going to say the referee's pointing for a penalty. He's pointing for a goal kick. Diamandi's got a smile on his face. Of course, Derek McInnes has got his arms in the air. I suppose he's suggesting that if it's not a penalty, it's going to be a goal kick, a corner kick. We're going to look at a replay ourselves. It's independent unofficial off-tube stereo commentary. Well, it's touch and go. I think that's a major decision that they've got wrong. What do you reckon?
No, there was more of a tangle of the legs at first to me. Maybe you want to say, let's have a look at it, to have a look at it, but I don't think there was a win, that.
Well, yeah, it could have been a corner. It wasn't. It's a goal kick. And as soon as the goal kick is taken, a referee has blown his whistle. Full time at Tannadice. It's finished. Dundee United 1, Rangers 1.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved.